Put my chick inside some Louis and some Valentino. Put my bro inside some Gucci and some Moschino. They want my money like it's a casino.
Straight. New Veeks. Fucking proper store. The new 1 Series.
Yeah, man.
Nah, this car, I loved it when I had it. I loved it. It's just, it does the job.
Yeah, man.
19 plate, fresh. fresh.
You see my bro?
Nah, but what you saying?
You saying?
My guy. What? You see, would you prefer?
Yeah.
Would you rather get a newer plate car?
Yeah.
Or an older plate but a nicer car? What?
Now I would, yeah, the older shape, but the nicer spec, because you like this M Sport, you know, it looks nice, but if you got like the 21 plate, SC spec, low spec, it don't really make sense. You're just doing it for the plate. You're just doing it for the plate. Don't die for number plate, innit?
Don't die for number plate. Nah, so do you want still? Yo, what's good, people? It's Poku Banks, baby.
Come on, man. Jordan from JaysCarSourcing.
Come on, man. Nah, I'm with him today. We're gonna talk about cars, anything financing, buying outright, car sourcing, all sorts, anything that comes to cars. So
everything.
We're gonna learn a lot in this video.
Gonna drop a lot of game because a lot of people don't really know too much about cars, or they think they do, but not to the depth that I do. So I'm here with the main man. We're gonna let everybody know.
Alright, let's get it. But cool, talking about the new car. Well, when did you get this and where?
I got this last week. This is actually my first car.
Okay.
I've been sourcing cars for 2 years, but this is actually my first car. The reason I got it is because obviously I like the 1 Series. It's rear wheel drive.
Yeah.
Over A-class, A3s and stuff like that. M Sport, it looks clean. Yeah, man, I proper like it. It's got good spec, it's got heated seats.
Heated seats?
Yeah, it's got heated seats.
I wish I had that.
Leather seats.
Yeah,
full M Sport, automatic, everything.
Yeah, nah. What? You know, a manual type of person?
I've driven manual cars before, but it's like on a day-to-day motorway driving, I can't be bothered with all of
it's
that.
long. I hate manual. What I always say is, if you don't drive nice cars in the future, then you need to drop the manual thing. You know, the newest S-classes don't have manuals.
They don't have manual options.
They don't have manual options. You can't. You know what I'm saying? A Rolls Royce doesn't have a manual. You know. So again, guys. And anyways, there's even what's some
the paddle
shifters. So yeah, if you wanna go, you know, manual for a little sec.
Manual mode, yeah, why not? It gives you the best of both options. So yeah, man. Obviously, people say driving like, oh, you need to feel like I understand in certain cars, but as you said, once you go up in the echelon of cars, they don't have the manual option.
Yeah. So, and you know, the world's changing, things are going. What do you think of electric cars?
Do you know what? I haven't driven one yet.
Okay,
you know?
no, you should
But
share.
obviously, I do have a lot of friends that have access to a lot of them, and even my friend just ordered a Porsche Taycan.
Okay.
And he said that, you know, the infrastructure is getting a lot better. So it's getting there. It's not fully there, but we're getting there. But electric cars, you know, there's their ups and downs. It's got their ups and downs. We can go into it, but yeah, they've got their ups and downs really.
Oh, you've even got the new iDrive system. I don't even have that on my one. Even the dials as well. No analog, just proper. It looks smooth still. Even the mile per hour, it doesn't even do on my car. I was even thinking of upgrading, but it's a bag. The speedometer. Yeah, like £1,000.
Okay.
I was contemplating it, but I was thinking, nah, it's cool. Like,
it's not the be on the end of next car. Exactly.
I had to say next car for a lot of things. But yeah, talk to me. What is the benefit, would you say, of going to a car store? Some people may not understand why they may need one.
Yeah. So basically, what is that I do? I'm very experienced in the car market, so I'm able to get you the best possible deal. Now, what it is that obviously people assume that, okay, I'm buying a car, let me just go on Auto Trader, look at a car, let me pick this and that. But there's a lot more to a car. You know, cars are very mechanical components. There's a lot of things that can go right, can go wrong, and there's a lot more to it. You should be doing Hpi checks, service checks, even mileage. Some people don't know you can put a mileage block on the car, and so your car could be 100k miles, but on the dashboard it says 50k miles. So there's a lot of things to do with cars. Now, obviously, being 2 years into car sourcing, I know a lot of tips, a lot of tricks and stuff like that. So pretty much what it is that I do is that I can get you the best possible deal. But first of all, I find you the best possible car within your budget, get you the best possible deal, make sure that it's the best car available on the market for you, and make sure, and just making sure that it's the perfect car for you. If you've got a big family, you don't really want a small car, you know, and then you might not even know what cars are available. So I send you like different array of cars, like have a look at this, have a look at that. What do you think of this and stuff like that? So it's almost like having a concierge service for purchasing a car. Yeah.
No, that's really smooth. So those that don't have the time or aren't really experienced in going to do the checks and whatnot.
Exactly.
It's like having a helping hand.
That's exactly it, like having a helping hand. But even if you are experienced in cars and let's say you just don't have the time, or you know, like for example, my finance broker, he'll tell me I need to have a look at this car. Obviously he's way deeper into the car game than me, but he knows if he sends me a car, I'm gonna find it.
I know the car, I don't need that insurance and that. I literally just need the actual vehicle.
Okay, yeah, then that's no problem. Obviously, yeah, we help find you the best possible cars. Like there's some cars that are hard to find, some cars are more easier, but it's just about finding the best car that's available in the market. So that's pretty much what we help with.
I'm about like price, like I give you a price, a maximum price point.
Yeah, so you'll tell me how much you're trying to purchase the car for, but obviously I'll also let you know that, you know, some people's expectations and what the current market price is might not be the same, but obviously I'll try to find the car that's best within your budget.
So how much is that?
So our bronze service is £50, silver service is £80, gold service is £120.
What's that the difference between all of them?
So with bronze is that you'll tell me what car you're looking for, and then I'll send you 5 options of the car that you're looking for, and then you can proceed to purchase the car. With silver, I get in contact with the seller for you, and I send you more options of the car, the specific car that you're looking for. And with gold, I pretty much do everything for you. Like you tell me what car you want, I organize the meet up, I find the car for you, I do pretty much everything for you.
What's the time frame? Like how long will this take?
It can take as long as, realistically, once you send me the car, I can start sending you some cars within like a couple hours. So it's just whenever you're able to get back to me and whenever you're able to purchase the car.
Alright, cool. Thank you, man. I'll let you know that. I just wanted to know where I was buying it.
Yeah. Alright then, no problem.
Thank you.
Alright, cool, cheers. We're live at work. We're live at work.
Day in the life.
A day in the life, literally, bro.
See how you really rep.
As we all know, the crypto markets had a big downturn trend since the beginning of the year, up until last month where we've seen a strong rally upwards. So I've got a lot of people messaging me asking, Poku, is it time to invest? My answer to that is, it's always time to invest. You may be thinking, how is that possible? Well, I make use of the investment strategy, dollar cost averaging. This essentially means that you invest periodically. So that's every week, every 2 weeks, every month, whatever suits you, into any asset regardless of the price. Over the long term, you'll be less sensitive to price variations and spikes, therefore getting an average price. Now, if you zoom out on the Bitcoin chart, you'll realize that after every market crash, price continues to keep going up. And that's why this strategy has been proven to be good for this asset. Now, as we're around 65% below the all-time high for the Bitcoin price, this has historically been proven to be a great time to start the dollar cost averaging strategy. Check out BitcoinPoint, use my code POKUBANK for a free 20,000 Satoshis, which is roughly around £5. Make sure to check out in the link in the description. Let's get it, and let's continue the video.
Blow them. Yeah, nah, I love Sports Plus. Yeah, it doesn't sing.
Yeah.
So then, what would you say are like the important factors when looking for a car?
So obviously, the history of the car is very important because you need to know who owned it, what the car's been through. Like that's why HPI checks are always important.
Wait, what's the HPI check for?
So basically, what a HPI check is that it basically ensures. It lets you know whether a car's been written off by insurance. So written off means that if it's had a crash and the insurance company deems that it's not worth fixing it no more. Yeah. So it checks if it's been written off, if it's been stolen before, if it has been what else? if the number plate has been changed, if the colour's been changed, if it's been imported or exported.
Wow.
All of them things in it. So it pretty much gives you like peace of mind to know like, alright, cool, this car hasn't, obviously it's not a be all and end all, but it's a great place to start.
Yeah,
it's a great place to start.
So HPI check, what else would you say is an important factor?
So one thing good about like these BMW, the service is in the car. Like service history is in the car, so you can literally just go to the menu, see, alright, cool, it got service at this point, this time, this date, at this mileage. So obviously not all cars are like that, but you should always request, oh, what's the service history like on this car? You know, if the dealership bought it, the dealership thought it was worthy of it, like worthy of them buying because they feel like they can make money on it. So you should definitely ask them, because if you ask them, they've asked the seller, the person who bought it from them, if that makes sense. So yeah, so checking service history is good. Just checking like for wear and tear, because like you said, mileage blockers you can look into get into a car, you can tell a 100k mileage car from a 50k mileage car just based on the wear and tear of the inside, innit? So if you get into a car, it's saying like it's got 30k miles, but you can see that everything's weathered inside, then you know that's signs, innit? It's signs that, you know, there's something up, there's something that you're not being told in terms of the deal. In terms of other things, you should check the insurance group. Check the insurance group that it's in, because obviously you don't want to purchase the car and then find out that it's even in eco mode and then push like that. You should check the what's it called, the insurance group, because you don't want to buy the car and then find out that it's too expensive in your insurance. Because you know, 420i is going to have a different insurance to a 420d. You know, just the petrol and diesel will have a difference. Same way a manual and an automatic will have a difference. There's so many variables when it comes to insurance that you just have to make sure, innit? You don't want to buy the car and then things are too late, the insurance is too expensive, and then you're just stuck in a bad place.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so obviously some people may have heard all of that and they're thinking, yeah, that's cool, but I don't have time for that, and I don't think I remember any of this. They may want like an expert to like come help them. So how can you come in and make that process just seamless? So
obviously I'm 2 years into it, you know, 2 years I've sourced for over 300k worth of cars. You know, I brokered over 300k worth of cars, so that includes like S-classes, Mercedes, brand new cars. So 22 plates, 21 plates when they were out, 20 plates when they were out. Pretty much first cars, family cars, all of them. So I have a lot of experience with a lot of different cars. So obviously I am the best place for you to come to, because with all this knowledge I'm able to tell you, alright, cool. So for example, I had a customer, it was her first car, she gave me her budget, she told me that she's looking for like a 2016 Polo. Now after some research, I realized that her budget was higher than, was a bit higher than, not higher than she needed, but she had a very good budget. So what I was able to do was actually get her into a newer shape Polo 68 plate for the same amount of money that she was willing to pay for the older shape. So if she had just been like, yeah, let me just take this car, you know, she would have been in the old shape. But now she's in a new shape, she got it in automatic, she got it in the color that she wants, everything, all because she came to me, innit? So like, it's getting you the best, well, like I said, getting you the best price, but also getting you the best car available.
So cool, nowadays there's lots of creative ways of buying cars and whatnot. There's financing, there's buying that right. What would you say is the best way? How did you decipher? What's your opinions on that? Okay, so one thing I want to just say from the beginning is that I need us to get out of the mentality. I know Poku Banks is here, yeah. Listen. I've been hearing this, and I need you lot to understand. Finance is not a bad thing. Finance is the way. If you manage your finance, I mean, if you manage like loans, taking out loans, if you manage the money and if you know what you're doing, it's not a bad thing. Listen, big companies use finance all the time. Why do you think rich people have Amex cards, credit cards? It's not debit card that they deposited the money in. It's credit cards. Like that's the whole reason. So it's important. That's one thing that I just really thought it was important to say. Now, in terms of I think, and to add on to that, I feel like it's more within a certain community. They feel like you find something, you can't afford it. Little did you know. Wait, firstly, can you even get the credit check? Can you even pass credit checks? First off, to most of these people. That's the thing. It's a skill in itself to even get accepted. But again, for us, it's all about managing your finances, managing your cash flow, you know.
Yeah.
For the finance point of view, it's more of a thing where, cool, why put, you know, 100% of your money into a depreciated asset like a car?
Exactly.
When you can put that money elsewhere into investments or into a business and then pay monthly. And we're in different times right now. Car market is going up, but sometimes how I see it is like with cars, why lose all the money in one go when paying cash when you can lose money slowly?
What I would say is that obviously everybody's situation is different, you know. So if whatever situation you're in, like, and one thing that I do is that I will tailor what's best for you. So you tell me your situation and I'll give you the best example. So what I'd say is, for example, me, I just bought my car. You know, the car was, let's say, just under 20 grand. So it was either I have under 20 grand into the car that I will not see again until I sell the car, or I finance the car and I still have the money I would have originally had to invest into my business or just invest into anything else. So, you know, what I personally would say, obviously this is not financial advice, but what I would personally say is that the best possible position you could be in is have the cash to buy the car but still finance it.
Yeah.
Simply because you're not tying up all that money into like you said, into a depreciating asset. You know, you can use that money for other things. You can invest that money. So now if you let's say you got 20k for a car, you put 5k of it into financing the car, that 15k you invest into something, and that 15k can start paying your monthlies for the car.
There you go.
So you're winning, you know. That's what I would say. Now obviously if you're going to finance a car, make sure that you can afford it. Try to have maybe like, let's say like 3 months monthly pay aside somewhere where you don't even look at it, just for emergencies, innit?
Yeah.
That would also be good advice. But yeah, what I would say is having the cash for the car but financing it is your best possible outcome. Yeah. Cool.
So some people watching may be thinking, for example, my first BMW, it was a 2012 1 Series 180. I got it for a cash price of 4.6k.
Yeah.
You know, I did that because you know, I feel like there's no point financing. At what point would you say buying cash makes sense? Because I just felt like, you know what, let me just give it 4.6k. It's a cash price.
Yeah.
No payments. So what do you think about where's the cut-off point, would you say? Because
so with, like, for example, that was your first car, right?
Yeah, first. Yeah.
That was your first car. So obviously you can finance your first car, but you don't also have to. So what I say, usually what people do is with their first car is that that car is there for you to learn how to drive, for you to get experience on the road and stuff like that. So and they tend to be on the cheaper side. So if you're getting like, you know, like a Corsa or Astra, you know, just like a little 2010, 2012 plate that you're paying like 3 grand to 5 grand, there's obviously you can finance it, you can get people that can finance it for you, but even like that, it's a bit hard because the finance company also need to make money. You know, so if financing 3 grand to you, it's not really the best thing. You're probably better off going to the bank, getting a bank loan of 5k. You'll pay less interest. You know, you're better off doing that. Between 8 to 10k is when you can start looking at, cool, maybe I should finance this. But again, it's just all about affordability, and it's all about what situation you're currently in.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. Yeah, I think for me, yeah, it depends on your own finances, what makes sense. But also, some people in this world, you know, they don't like, you know, financing. Maybe they feel they can sleep well at night just not having a monthly payment, and that's fair enough. I wanted to also bring up refinancing. Talk to me about that the whole concept of it, because when I think of refinancing, I think of a house. You've increased the value of the house and you want to get the new agreement in place of, okay, this is the new value of it.
Yeah.
We can now put you on a new product, a new mortgage, for a cheaper price. But talk to me about how it works for cars.
So, okay, so one thing I want everybody to do, everybody watching this video, what I want you to do is to go and have a look at your finance agreement and find out what the APR rate that you're paying for your car is. That's one thing some people don't look at. They don't think it's important, or they don't realize how important it is. So obviously the APR rate is the interest rate that you're paying on the money that you've borrowed from the finance company. Now, with my finance broker, shout out Dan, his finance rates start from 6.5%. Now, to put that into perspective, if you walk into BMW or you walk into Mercedes, they are most likely going to offer you around 8%. If you go into like a car supermarket, they're going to start from like 11%. Now, if you do the calculation, let's say you spend £5,000 a year on your monthly payments, on your payments for the year. So 5,000 times 6.5%, and then 5,000 times 11%.
Yeah.
You know, it's a difference. It's a difference.
Around 250. You say around £250.
Exactly. So if you're saving, if you could save like £30 a month, £40 a month, you know, because obviously my broker deals with a lot of big cars. The average saving when he refinances a car is £137 a month.
Wow.
So imagine you not doing anything. You're not getting a different car. You're not doing anything different. All you're doing is just going to a different broker and saving £137 a month.
Yeah.
So yeah, refinancing, just make sure you go have a look at your interest rate. If it's anything higher than 7-8%, make sure you hit me up. Make sure you hit Dan up. We'll refinance your car. Let us know, we will let you know how much you could possibly be saving, and then yeah, you're paying less. You're paying less a month.
Okay, so is it simply a case of doing a new credit check and they're paying off the old
Yeah. So they will pay off your old agreement with your new agreement. So you won't deal with your old finance company no more. Obviously, you'll be now dealing with us. You'll be on a better rate. You'll be paying less a month. And you know, our aim is just to get you the best possible deal. That's what we do, and that's why we're so successful right now.
Yeah, it's true. What's the people will be asking, you know, what is the catch? How can you get them on a better rate? Do they need a better credit score? Do they need to put a high deposit down? Like, is there a catch or?
No, there's not a catch. Obviously, you do need a good credit score, but then if you've already been accepted on a car finance, you probably do have a good enough credit score to be accepted. There's no catch. Literally, just to give you behind the scenes. So what it is that a lot of companies do is that they will up the interest rate on the car so that they make more money off you every month in terms of the interest that you're paying on the car. Now, then there's dealerships that will offer you good rates on the car, but what they will do is that they will bump up the price of the car. So essentially, it kind of evens out. Although you're not paying a high interest rate, they bumped up the price of the car.
Yeah.
So these are just little gems and tips that you should know. You should keep in mind when purchasing a car. But yeah, there's no downside. We're literally just trying to get you the best possible deal, and it's a thing where if you didn't originally come to us for your finance, you can always come to us and we will sort you out.
That's smooth. Yeah, no, that's very, very smooth.
Cool, yeah, talk to me about ULEZ compliant cars. That's a big issue as of now. When I had my 1 Series, mine wasn't ULEZ compliant, so I had to get rid of it anyway. So that's what I had to do, but how can you sort that out?
So in terms of diesel cars, I believe it's from 65 plates onwards that all diesel cars are ULEZ. Basically what ULEZ is an ultra low emissions zone in London, and they're phasing it into other cities as well, so like Birmingham, Manchester and stuff like that. So it pretty much just essentially make sure that the cars driving in that area, they don't emit too much pollution, because obviously diesel cars, they emit I believe it's nitrogen or something that's not too good for the environment in it. So they're basically trying to cut down on the emissions. In terms of finding a ULEZ car, yeah, that's something you need to make sure. So if it's a diesel and it's older than 2015, then it probably won't be ULEZ. And obviously ULEZ is like £12.50 a day. If you end up buying a car and you find out that it's not ULEZ and you have to pay £12.50 a day, it's gonna add up. So that's something that is very important to check. Petrol cars are okay, unless it's very, very old. We're talking like maybe like even at 2005s, they should be fine, innit? So yeah, petrol cars you shouldn't worry, but diesel car, if it's older than 2015, make sure it's ULEZ, especially if you live in London.
So there's the mechanic pre-purchase inspection.
Yeah.
How does that work, and how can people benefit off that?
So obviously, if you know like someone that knows about cars or a mechanic, then it's always good to go with them to go and view the car. So obviously, I've got this, which pretty much you plug it into any car, and then it will come up with any fault codes and stuff like that. Obviously, mechanics will have like a bigger machine which gives you more information, but this is basic. You can get it from Euro car parts, £20, you know, but it will give you all the information that you need. It will come up with a code. You can Google the code. There's also a book that it comes with, but I don't have it on me, but it will let you know pretty much what the code is, what it means, and you know, so then you're more educated on what the possible issue of the car is, if it's serious, if it's not serious, stuff like that. But even if there is a code on the car, you might not want to buy it. So, you know, it makes, just having this £20 can save you a lot of money.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And talk to me about, you know, getting trackers for cars. Why is that important? How can that help?
Yeah, so obviously, you know, we got push to start cars. So the technology on the car, basically, it knows when the key is in the car, and that's how the car starts. So if you try to start the car without the key, it wouldn't start. Now, what thieves are doing these days is that they have a machine where they can go up to the front of your house, and obviously because you tend to keep your keys at the front of the house, they come with a machine, and the machine will relay a signal onto the car, so making the car believe that the key is actually in the car when it's not. And so literally you see all them videos of them jumping in the car, within 30 seconds the car's driven off. Now with a tracker and an immobilizer, what that can do is that obviously the tracker will track where the car is. You know, this car I can check on my phone where it is at all times. And also the immobilizer, you can have like a little fob where even if the person has the key, if they don't have the fob in the car won't start. Or if you put it into drive, it will cut out. And you can also save a lot of money on insurance. It can pretty much pay for itself with insurance, because obviously once you tell your insurance that, you know, I've got this kind of security on my car, your premiums will get lower and lower and lower, to the point where the amount that you spent on the tracker, you know, you've saved it in insurance premiums. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's proper smart, man. Nah, that's proper smart. Talk to me about like whether some customers like hybrid, diesel, electric, petrol. So
obviously, when there's a customer that is not too sure about what it is that they want, in terms of if you do like a lot of town journeys, a lot of like here to A to B small journeys, then you're better off with a petrol. If you do a lot of motorway journeys, a lot of motorway miles, you're better off with a diesel. The diesel is obviously more expensive to buy, but it lasts longer, especially on motorway journeys, you know. So yeah, hybrid is also good, but they're not the best on motorway journeys, and you can't always drive them for very far on the electric power alone. So yeah, it's just about what's best for you, what's your situation, and yeah.
Yeah, no, that's proper. And finally, let's talk about mileage when it comes to cars.
Yeah.
Why is that important and all that? So
obviously mileage is important because obviously it gives you history on the car. So you shouldn't necessarily be put off by the mileage of a car, but it will give you more insight into where the car's been, what's been happening and stuff like that. Because you can have a car that's got, you know, lots of motorway miles, or you can have a low mileage car that's been racked about. Also, you know, there's mileage blockers and stuff like that, which will also stop you from actually knowing what the real mileage of the car is. So, like, doing things like checking the MOT, because when they MOT a car, it tells you what the mileage of the car is when it got MOT'd. So obviously, if they MOT the car 1 year and it's only gone up by like 1,000 miles in the whole year, but it's, you know, you can tell it's done a bit more than that, then, you know, it gives you signs as to what's happening. But another thing is to keep in mind is that a car roughly goes up by around 10k miles a year. So if you're buying a 2-year-old car that's got 50k miles, you know, there's something up. It might not necessarily mean that it's bad, but, you know, it's put on a lot of stress very early on the engine. So those are little things that you can you know, make sure that you keep in mind.
That's cool, but if you don't know any of this and you CBA to remember all of this, what, they can come to you and
Listen, yeah, you hit up Jay's Car Sourcing, the only place to get your car sourced. If you want Beamers like this, yeah, if you want big whips, or not even just big whips, if you need a first car, if you need a second car, if your girlfriend needs a car, if your dad needs a car, I'm the person to hit up. Any car you want, any car you want.
What prices do you do?
So I've got a bronze, silver and gold service. Bronze is £50, silver's £80, gold is £120. Pretty much bronze, you tell me what car you're looking for, I send you back a couple cars and then you go from there. Silver, I get in contact with the seller, make sure that things are in place for you and stuff like that, organized for you to set up, for you to meet up, and purchase the car. And lastly, gold, I pretty much do everything for you, everything, start to end. If you want it delivered, obviously that's additional stuff like that, but pretty much everything, from you telling me what car you want to me organizing, you picking up the car, showing you the car, sending you different options. If you want, like, if you don't know if you want a 1 Series or 4 Series, don't know if you want a C-Class or E-Class, stuff like that. I send you as many cars as you need. And the thing is that I need you to understand is that the process doesn't stop until you're happy. So if we ain't found a car, we're not gonna stop. We're just gonna keep going until we find a car that you're happy with.
Yeah, no, that's proper, man.
Yeah.
That's good. Hey, yo, you, man. Hope you lot enjoyed that.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man. Jordan from Jay's Car Sourcing. Make sure you check him out. If you lot need a car or whatnot, then it's there, man. It's the link down below, everything down below. Yeah, if you want to get a car on finance, if you just want to look for a car in general, that's where it's at, man, for sure.
Come on, yeah, man. Don't forget, listen, subscribe to POKUBANK, subscribe to my channel, JaysCarSourcing, and yeah, man, trust me, you're gonna see more of us for sure.
That's all. Let's get it. Let's
Come on, let's go.
Poku Banks, baby.